If time allows, I'll do it at the end. If not, we'll definitely talk about it next week before we prepare for June marketing outside the box. And Tony, are we good to start?
It's loading.
Okay. It tells me that it's streaming.
It is, okay.
But I mean, you tell me, I don't know, I'm not paying attention. So you tell me when I can start.
It should have gone through, but I'm trying to get to our
I can see it. We're good
now.
We are good to go.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Okay, thank you so much for your patience. I don't know why my Zoom wouldn't connect to Facebook, but we are there now, thank God. And we'll jump right in and get started. Thank you so much for joining us. I do see a few new faces. In the interest of time, I think I'll start the presentation, and if time allows, we will do some presentation. We'll do introductions at the end. We should have enough time for that. I don't think my presentation is that long today. Alan, I see you joined us. I shared with them that last week I realized what I did wrong, I realized what I did wrong in regards to, I never shared my screen when I started presenting. So today, I'm gonna make sure that I do that before I jump into the presentation. So let's see. And I think we are there. I think I'm doing it right. Can everybody see me and see the market and monetize on their screen?
Yep.
Great. I won't continue to let you see me. I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay. So once again, thank you so much for joining us for Marketing Outside the Box. This is the second week of a 3-week series. We're focusing on YouTube and how you can use it to market your business, as well as how you can use it to monetize your business. So just a quick look at the agenda for those 3 weeks. Last week, for those that weren't with us, we just went over the basics of starting a YouTube channel. Today, we are talking about the magic, and what I mean by the magic is really how do you get down with the marketing. And then next week, we'll talk about the money and how you monetize your business on YouTube. So that's just to give you a quick look at what the agenda will look like for today and next week. And this is just a quick overview. Like I said, we went through the basics of creating your channel and the key things that were important to that, as far as your about section and creating your channel art, things of that nature. We went through how content is still important to the entire process, and identifying your target market. We went through the importance of a trailer, because most people don't have a video trailer on their YouTube page. And if you didn't get this presentation, just send us an email. Tony will drop the email address in the chat, and we'll make sure that you get that. And then we talked a little bit about your first video and videos following that, as far as filming goes, optimizing, and also staying consistent, things of that nature. So all of that was connected to the basics, which bring us to today. And we'll stay on this particular budget, this particular planet. I call all of these planets. So today we'll stay on the magic planet. So let's get started. First things first, completely when we're talking about the magic as it relates to marketing, it's always about the method. So the magic is in the method. What do I mean by that? There are a few things I want to make sure we hit before we get into the 3 parts that you see there: integrate, socialize, and invest. And the key things I want to make sure that I talk about today first is, let's talk about something that I touched on a little bit last week. I'm sorry, before I continue, can everybody see my screen? Yes, okay, and can everybody hear me? Last week we had some audio issues as well. All right, perfect. Okay, so most people are afraid to use YouTube to promote their business, but as I shared last week, there's no reason to be, because the most popular videos on YouTube aren't professional productions. It's just a man or a woman that gets in front of a camera on their phone or whatever and talk about what they know best. That's the basics of what YouTube is. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. You can make it fancy and flashy as we see YouTubers do all the time, but the basics of YouTube is just that. So there's really no expensive equipment required. Obviously, if you have expensive equipment and you use it, there's always a benefit because video is the key form of marketing. I see Sean on the conference with us right now. He will agree with me. I think video is the best form of marketing you can provide yourself. Sean, you had something to say. I noticed that you unmuted.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, guys, it's the most important thing today, and doing it well can be easily done. I think a lot of people are just trying to have the courage to jump in, but jump in with the intensity of building your brand, and looking good. Like an awful lot of people are looking up their cameras like this, or they're looking over here. They've got it all messed up. Take a few minutes to think about how you're presenting yourself and whether or not you're engaging your audience, though. That's really important.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. And we'll talk a little bit more about engagement throughout this, but he's absolutely right. And please contact Sean and other video experts about the simple things you can do to make your YouTube video that much better. But quickly, as we talk about the magic and the method, a few things I want to make sure that you keep in mind as you start your YouTube video. Number one, we talked about this a little bit last week, copy what works. There's absolutely no reason for you to reinvent the wheel. Generally, the videos that do well on YouTube are funny or weird or useful videos, the how-tos of the world. Those videos are the typical videos that do pretty well on YouTube. So I encourage you to spend an afternoon watching YouTube videos, specifically those in your market, and learn what works. Take notes. Find out what videos have the most views, that has the highest ratings, that has the most comments, or have a good number of subscribers, and ask yourself, what are they doing right? Put it down on a sticky note or on a whiteboard. Ask yourself, what do you think they're doing wrong or could be doing better? And keep that in mind. Write those notes down as well. Also, and I spent quite a bit of time on this last week, is put keywords everywhere. The best way to help people find your business and your videos on the internet is by including the keywords in the title, including those keywords in your description, including them in the tags. Google has a really awesome tool. It's called Google Keyword Tool. It's probably, in my biased opinion, the best tool out there to help you with keywords specific to your industry. The downside is that there is a cost affiliated. It's not super expensive, but there is a cost affiliated. But there are a number of free versions of it out there. They're not as amazing as Google, but they get the job done. A good example of that is Uber Suggest. That's UBER Suggest, one word. Google, look that up on Google, and it's just as effective to help you come up with the keywords that you need for your specific industry. And it'll help you find variations of the keywords that you can use for tags. A good example of this, let's just say, somebody give me a business. I know we didn't do introductions. This is why I always do introductions. Who's on the call with us? Give me one of your industries or one of your businesses.
Promo items.
What did you say, Bobby?
Promo items.
Criminal items?
Promo. Advertising specialties.
Promotional items.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry about that. I was like, criminal items, what are those?
Hey, we can think of it.
So promotional items. So let's just say the example keyword here is promotional business. So when you put up a YouTube video, you want to title it, how to promote your business. And then in the description, you put your website link, as we talked about last week. You want to put your website link in your description. And then the title of the details in your description can be, do you want to know how to promote your business? And then, in the tags, you'll have words like promote business, promote your business, how to promote your business, promoting your business. And it sounds like you're saying the same thing and it's repetitive and it's annoying, but that's the beauty of words on the internet. Those tags matter. It's another good example is if you think about small business, Sometimes you'll notice that people in their tags, they have small business, and then they right next to it, they have small businesses. And you're like, why would you do that? It makes a difference on how far it reaches on the internet. So do it. YouTube, thankfully, does not limit how many tags you can use, as far as I know. That may have changed since the pandemic, but as far as I can recall, YouTube doesn't limit the amount of tags that you can have. Some other platforms do, like Instagram. We know Instagram only allow, I think, maybe 30 hashtags. If you're ever in a scenario where you have to limit your tags, in my advice to you is to kind of think smartly about it. So when you look at the word small business and look at the word small businesses, if you have to choose one or the other, I would suggest that you choose business. Because in the word businesses is still the word business. So you would, instead of going small businesses, I would go small business, because when Google searches that, they'll still find the word business inside the word businesses, and that'll still show up for you. So when you have to limit your tags, just kind of think of those small quirky things. Again, it can be annoying, and it can seem like, why am I using the same words over and over, or using the same words in different ways? It makes a difference. So there's magic in that. Do it. Take the time. And another great suggestion is plan your tags always, so you can just copy and paste it all the time. So you don't have to keep typing it up. Just have a sheet of paper where you typed up all your tags, and when it's time to put it somewhere, copy paste as needed, so you're not constantly typing that over and over. Another thing, as we think about keywords, I said this and I stand by this. I said this last week, I stand by this. Steal keywords from popular videos. Yes, I'm encouraging you to steal them. Like I said earlier, search for videos that are popular in your market and copy the tags they have listed that are relevant to you, your video, and your business. And I stress relevant because you don't want to search a video, and they happen to have the word Beyonce or LeBron James or whomever in the tag, but that's irrelevant to your business and what you're promoting. Because yes, while those names, those tags may bring a lot of viewers, if I go to that video and it has absolutely nothing to do with Beyonce Knowles, you just pissed me off. And I'm never coming to watch another video from you. And I might also tell my friends to never watch a video for you, because at this point, you're attracting the wrong audience. And they might leave a bad review. That's not what you want. So just steal the things that are relevant to you. That's why it's important that you search videos in your market and in your industry when you decide to steal those words. This will increase the likelihood that your video will be listed under suggestions with someone who have those high viewership. So if we're going with promoting businesses, and you search a video in your industry and you find one that has 3 million views, and you took a few of the tags that they have that's relevant to you, there's a good chance if someone watches their video, because YouTube is so smart and so intelligent and makes suggestions. Oh, you watch this might be something you're interested in. Because you have the same tags, YouTube may very well suggest your video to that viewer and help you with your viewership. So keep that in mind as you put down those keywords and those tags. I stress it because keywords are so important, okay? The next thing, as we talk about the magic and the method, is choosing the best thumbnail image. We've all seen it. A lot of times people aren't even aware of it. When we upload a video, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, and even on YouTube, a lot of us default to whatever those platforms choose as our thumbnail video. A lot of people never even realize that they have an option to choose or switch their thumbnail video. Sometimes those platforms get it right and they choose a great thumbnail for you and you have no work to do. And other times the thumbnail is some blurry something that will never make me click this video, because what are you showing me? What are you showing your audience? So take the time to choose which clip you want to show as your thumbnail. YouTube even allows you to upload a thumbnail. So let's just say your video doesn't necessarily have a clip, or YouTube doesn't choose one of the clips that you can use, but you want your thumbnail to be your logo or something like that. You can upload it and make that the thumbnail for your video. Imagery is so important. You all might remember back in March, we had the vlog podcasting, marketing outside the box series. And one of the things that Eric from Open Media Lab shared with us, he said that statistics show that most people, I don't remember the numbers, but most people watch videos on mute. Now, while I'm sure YouTube is an exception to that because most of us come to YouTube to learn something, but if most people are watching a video on mute, then you want to make sure that an image speaks to them. You want to make sure that an image is enough for them. Yeah, Sean, you have something to say?
30 years of filmmaking, guys. If you can watch a movie on mute and still understand enough of the story to go, wow, you've nailed it. To your point, Magali. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sean, for that. And if you have a question, please, I can't see everybody in the chat, just how Zoom is set up right now. Please don't be afraid to unmute yourself and just ask me. And Tony is keeping an eye both on here and as well on Facebook Live. So if you have questions, just type it in and she'll interrupt me and I'll be sure to respond as necessary. So yeah, thumbnails are important. Take the time to think about which thumbnail you want to represent your video. And then we talked last week when we talked about your having a trailer for your YouTube channel, we talked about making sure you leave a call to action. I want to graduate that idea and say, have a call to action on almost all of your videos. Did I say almost? Let me remove that almost. Have a call to action on all of your videos, whether you have put that in the beginning, somewhere in the middle, or at the end. That's up to you because it depends on what type of video you're providing, what information you're sharing. However, have a call to action. Write these down because I don't have them anywhere on this presentation, but some examples of call to actions is, please rate this video. Follow me on Twitter. Find me on Facebook. Subscribe to my videos. Visit my blog for more. Embed this video on your website. Yes, you want people to also steal your video and put it on their website. That helps you. It promotes your brand. Please post your comments. Send this video to your friends. Check out my channel. Simple things that we see all the time, they make the difference. Once again, if you tell people to follow you on Twitter or Facebook or to embed the video or to visit your blog or go to your website, make sure that the link to those things are in your description. And last week's presentation showed you where to put those things. And we talked about that a little bit. So make sure that it's there. Don't make it difficult for people to take the action that you're asking them to take. If I have to think about what I need to do for you, I'm not going to do it. But if you make it easy for me, there's a great chance. If you say, hey, follow me on Twitter, and as soon as I look below the video, I see the Twitter link, I'm going to go click it and go to Twitter. It's a 50-50 chance, but hey, why not? But if it's not there, there's a 100% chance that I'm not. I'm not going to go to Twitter and search for you to go follow you. Make it easy. Okay? And then something else. Oh, yeah. This goes to the point that I was saying about imagery. YouTube has a feature where it allows you to add overlay in your videos, overlay text in your videos. Use that feature during your call to action. It goes back to people watch videos on mute. So if you use the overlay text that says subscribe now, at least I know that that's what you want me to do. Or it says follow me on Twitter, I know that's what you're asking me to do. So use that overlay function. YouTube is amazing because it's free, guys. These things are free to you. So take advantage of it. And then lastly, before we move on with the presentation here, as we talk about the magic and the method, I want you to consider soft selling on YouTube. There's nothing wrong with doing a direct sale or asking people to buy things directly. In my personal opinion, I think it's a bad idea and I don't think you should do it. It goes back to another presentation we did. And once again, we can get you these presentations where we talked about the marketing funnel and the sales funnel. Maybe last year we did it. We had experts come in and talk to you about that for a couple of weeks. It's the same idea. You need to figure out what that funnel is going to look like for a better response. Most people are not ready. As soon as they see your YouTube video, they're not ready to spend money with you off of that video. So you want to take steps. An example of this could be they watch your YouTube video, and your call to action on that YouTube video is go to my blog. And then let's assume they go to your blog, and from your blog, you have a link on your blog that tells them, hey, sign up to get more, or to keep up with me, or to stay connected. And right there, you're capturing their email address. That's important. So let's just say they sign up to stay connected to you. When you send them that email to welcome you or thank them for following your blog or for joining your blog, at that point, you will try to sell them what I call low ticket items. You know, something that you might have on sale, might be a good opportunity, or a service that you're providing at a decent price. That might be the time to try to make that sale. And then if they bite, if they purchase, then you may have a potential loyal customer on your hands, and you can then go in for the kill and try to sell them a high ticket item at that point. But either way, I don't suggest YouTube being the place where you start directly trying to make that sale. YouTube is really there for your branding, for your marketing, for your engagement, for your reach. So you keep that in mind throughout the process. Before I jump into integrate, socialize, and invest, do we have any questions at this point?
I have one.
Yes.
I was trying to, you were saying way back there, I guess I should have asked then, but when you were talking about which keyword you would use, business versus businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said you should use business rather than businesses to get more. Is that correct?
I think I did say that, but honestly, I did. Go ahead. You can finish your question, then I'll respond.
No, I was just because I was just thinking, because you said business is inside businesses. I was just wondering, did you mean to say businesses or business? Because I was just wondering if that was it, or how did I misinterpret, or what?
No, you didn't. I did say business, and I didn't say businesses, but honestly, either way works.
Oh, okay.
Either way works. The thing that I wanted to highlight when I said that is, if you do a Google search right now, right? And say you search the word business, it works either way. Google will bring up things for you that has business, but it might not bring things that have businesses, right? And if you use businesses, it likely will bring up both. So to be completely honest, you're right. Either it's probably better to use businesses. When I think about it from that point of view, you're probably you are right. So yeah, either one works. I think what I wanted to drive home with that as well, though, is I think and this could be a personal thing that I do, when searching for things, in that example, I likely will say small business and not small businesses when I'm doing a general search.
Okay.
But you're right. Businesses is probably smarter.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Were there any other questions before I continue? Anything on Facebook Live, Tony, before I jump into integrate?
No, ma'am, you're good.
Okay. So we'll make these next 3 points fairly quick within the next 15, 20 minutes and get you out of here on time, I promise. So obviously you want to integrate your YouTube channel onto your website if you have a website. That's something that you want to do. And you see there, it says embed everywhere. I want to take a moment and stress that I'm using the word embed. There's nothing wrong with linking, but embed will likely get more interaction. What do you mean? First, I'm going to assume that everyone on the call know when you embed a video that it's there. It lives in that space wherever you embed it, whether it's your website, whether it's a blog, wherever. And normally it pops up, it has your thumbnail, you can play it and things of that nature, as opposed to when you link it. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with linking a YouTube video. Embed is just, it gives you a higher chance of people watching it. And it goes back to everything we just talked about, that imagery and all of that. It gives you a better chance of people saying, oh, that's cool. And in some cases, you can embed it and have it play automatically as opposed to someone having to click the play button. I want to stop and say, if you choose to do that, be smart about it. There's only certain places where that's okay. I don't want every time I open your blog, immediately something is playing. Some people might be okay with that depending on what type of blog you have. But personally, I don't want it. I don't want, if I go to your website, I might visit your website in a meeting. I don't want that it automatically blasts sound. So just kind of think about how you embed things. I wouldn't always suggest it automatically playing unless you embed it in a place where the site that you embed it on is for people to specifically come and they know that they're coming to watch this video. Hopefully that makes sense. So integrate your channel on your website and obviously also on social media. Let's focus a little on your website first. Bias opinion, once again, I say have it front and center on your website. Put it on your homepage. That's just me. Some people would disagree, and in some industries, it makes sense not to put it on your homepage. Hustle is a good example. If you were to visit our website, our YouTube video is nowhere on our homepage. Once upon a time it was, when it made sense, when we were a new organization and we had a YouTube video that kind of introduced who we are and what our purpose was and what we were doing what we were working on at the time. We played that video everywhere. And as soon as you visited our website, you would see that video. But now that video lives on a different tab on our website. If you were to visit our website and click our roots, you would see that's where that video lives now, and it doesn't automatically play. You have to click play because it's no longer as relevant as it was when we first did it. But we also aren't in the habit of creating a lot of YouTube videos, because if we did, each new video would be on that homepage. Trust and believe me. So I suggest front and center, but you don't have to. You can do the second thing there, that where it says sync, and that's a lot of websites allow you to add a plugin or a widget where anytime you upload a new video on YouTube, it's reflected on your website. Just like you see it with some people with Twitter. Anytime they tweet on their website, you can see the tweets in conversations, things like that. It's no different in that. You just add the plugin or you add the widget to your website that allows that. So as you update new content to your website, you don't have to think, oh goodness, now I have to, no, I'm sorry, as you add new content to YouTube, you don't have to think, oh goodness, now I have to go to my website and copy and paste or do whatever. It's just automatic and seamless for you. And if you don't want it to sync, you can just check a box that say, no, don't add this particular video to it. So it's a simple thing. And you don't have to have it on the homepage. I say again, that's just my preference, but you can decide to have a specific page connected to videos or whatever makes sense for your industry, okay? Blogs and newsletter. That's another thing I want to take a moment to talk about as we talk about embedding. So if you do a video and if you have a blog anywhere, your blog might live on your website, your blog might live on somebody else's website that you blog for regularly. Share it, embed it, embed it, embed it, embed it. There's nothing more easier in blog form than a vlog. There's nothing wrong. Let me repeat that. There's nothing easier in blog form, VLOG, than a vlog, video blog, VLOG, okay, video blog. It takes care of it. You don't have to put a title. You might put one sentence and just have it there. Not only did you just create a blog, but you also created some new content for a newsletter. Send it to your listserv. Ask others to send it to their listserv. It's just a video. And if it's information or something that's pertinent to other industries, those are the people you want to ask to share. While we have connections and networks, and it's great to ask them to share as well, you want to be smart about who you ask to share your video and who and all of that, because they may be connected to people that may want to purchase your product or your services. So think about your industry in that way. And then also YouTube, having a YouTube playlist. This link here that you see, once you get this presentation, it'll show you how to create a playlist. But we didn't talk about this last week, and I wanted to make sure that I addressed it a little bit for you all. YouTube playlists are phenomenal, okay? It's basically a group of videos that you put together on your YouTube channel that'll just play back to back, that people can play for you. And it don't have to be your own videos. So this goes back to connecting to people on YouTube. If you wanted to have a playlist of videos on growing plants, let's just say you put your video and then there's another video that had, really high views or just really good content or whatever the case, you want to add those to those playlists. YouTube is that great that as long as that person has a public video, which most people do, you can add it to your playlist because you're helping them and they're helping you. How are they helping you if you're sharing their video? Because their viewership will connect to you now that they are on your playlist. So it's a win-win, honestly. So that link will show you how to create playlists. But another great thing about YouTube that we didn't talk about last week is having channels. So once you create playlists, and let's just say you have a playlist that's for your organization, you have testimonials. So you have a bunch of people that decided to send you 10-second clips of how great they think you and your business are. So you decided to have a playlist of testimonials. You can do that. That's great. But you can also have channels on YouTube, multiple channels. So let's just say, and YouTube allows you only 10 channels. So if you use them, think smart about what you want those 10 channels to be. But let's just say you want one of your channels to be customers, right? You call a channel customers. And within your customer channel, you have a playlist of testimonials. And then you have a playlist of customer journey or a playlist of however you decide you want to set it up. Like, for example, if Hustle were to do it, we can have channels where we have programming, partners, events, or something like that. And then within those channels, under programming, we can have marketing outside the box. We can have various Hustle events that we've had throughout time. Under partners, we can share those in our ecosystem who we're connected to. We can share their videos and things that we've done with them together, so on and so forth, just to give you the idea of how that works. And you can embed any of those into your sites and it connects you. It connects you and it helps bring out your viewership. So hopefully that's helpful as well. Any questions about embedding before I move on? I'm going to take that as a no and keep going. So the good thing here is that you all already know YouTube is a social network. It's not just a video site. Or maybe you didn't know that. Well, I'm saying it. YouTube is not just a video sharing site. It's a social network, okay? So you want to make sure that you use your YouTube community. Most people don't realize they can add friends on YouTube. They didn't realize they can message people on YouTube. You can join groups and you can create groups. And these can be specific to your business. And you don't have to feel pressured. You don't have to feel pressured to monitor this like you do your Instagram friends and your Facebook friends. YouTube is great because it's just a no pressure environment. You can literally come back to YouTube every 3 months and still be as relevant. It's just how you set up your consistency, like we talked about last week. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that YouTube community and make it work for you. Something else that you want to think about is, why not share all of your work? We talked about it just now as far as embedding, but take your, YouTube has the embed option, but it also has the share option. Those are two different functions. That share option gives you a link. Go ahead and just put it on Twitter, put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram is a little different. We'll talk about that, but share it where you need to share it as far as social platforms are concerned. You took the time to put this content together. Make sure your business social networks know it and that they see it. YouTube honestly wouldn't be what it is today without the engagement of viewers and people like us that put things on YouTube. So make sure that you do that. And then you also want to make sure that you engage back, comment on your videos. And if someone asks a question on your video, reply to it, or ask questions, ask your viewers questions. Did you enjoy it? What could I have done better? And then if they respond to that, listen to them. They give you good advice, put that to practice, and then make sure they see it next time you put up a video. You know, I asked you all what you thought and you told me I should do this, so here we go. Let me know if I did a good job. People will respond to that and they'll appreciate that, oh, the person that created this video is actually listening to me and accepting my feedback. Maybe I should continue to support them. So keep that in mind as you're sharing your content. And as we're currently living in this, what I like to call quarantine life, something that we have noticed is that going live streaming is our new world. It is life. Live streaming is life. That's a word for you, okay? So over the past couple of years, we've seen where social platforms have all offered ways for you to go live. Most of us don't realize or don't know that YouTube was the first platform to offer live. YouTube started going live back in 2011. Obviously, it's way more popular now than it was in 2011, but that just shows you that it tells you that they might have in my biased opinion and experience, they have the best platform to handle large numbers when you go live. A good example of this is Instagram. I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. If you follow R&B music on any level, you know that about 3 weeks ago, Babyface and Teddy Riley, they did an Instagram live together with their music. At the time, I don't think Instagram anticipated the amount of people that was going to join that live. And while 500K people were able to watch the live on Instagram, there was another large amount of people Instagram had frozen for them. They couldn't see the light. You can click on it, but it was just frozen. Nothing would happen because Instagram at that point in time wasn't necessarily prepared for something of that magnitude. But some person was genius enough, and they were recording the live, and they directly sent their recording of the live to Instagram Live, and then they sent it to YouTube. So there was another maybe, I think it was something like 80,000 people watching the live on YouTube Live from Instagram. And I thought that was phenomenal because it showed you like YouTube really is the platform. Obviously, since then, Instagram has increased their capacity to do so, but it showed you even in that moment, YouTube was the video solution. The other platforms just weren't prepared. Facebook Live is another great one. That's probably the next great one after YouTube as far as live platforms go. But either way, YouTube is not new to it. And YouTube seems to be the platform that's most friendly with the other apps and other platforms to go live. So keep that in mind when you're deciding which platform to go live on. The other thing is, most people don't know this, and I want to make sure that you know this, is LinkedIn has a live option. Now, because LinkedIn is a professional social platform, there are more steps. There's an application process, and you have to get approved to do LinkedIn Lives, but they have the live options. Why am I sharing with you that Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn have lives? Because you can save all of those lives and put them where? As another video on YouTube. YouTube it's like your video storage spot. So on Instagram, your live disappears after 24 hours. But Instagram has a feature where you can save that live and you can go and upload that live to your YouTube channel whenever you want as another way of content material. But you have to save it within those 24 hours. I just wanted to make sure you knew that you utilize YouTube in that way. If you are paying attention right now to a lot of businesses and churches and things of that nature, a lot of them are choosing YouTube as their live platform because once again, YouTube has the best capacity for that. So make sure that you engage with YouTubers that way as well if you are going live. Nothing wrong with going live on the other platforms. They are amazing platforms to go live on. You know your audience, you know your market, so do what's best. Just wanted to make sure you knew that YouTube has that option. YouTube is also a great platform that cooperates and collaborates with other platforms. A good example is Zoom. The Zoom that we're on right now. Zoom is one of the platforms, like a few others. Zoom is one of the platforms that allows you to go live to YouTube. You know, right now we go live to Facebook, but you have an option to do it to YouTube instead, or wherever. Maybe you can do both. I never tried to do both at once, but it's probably possible. So I just want to make sure you knew that that was another way you can engage as it relates to YouTube and your audience. And then the final thing here, we want to talk a little bit about thinking about investing, not just some money, but investing some time into you and your business. You might get to a point with your YouTube channel or your brand that you want to go to the next step. As it relates to YouTube, now I typically do not push ads. I normally don't do that at all, but as it relates to YouTube, it's worth giving it a thought, especially if you want to target a specific age group or specific gender, interest, or location. YouTube ads work in your favor. And I'll show you a video in just a second that tells you a little bit more how you can do that. But I want you to keep in mind that YouTube is one of the few places where ads are okay, where viewers are not annoyed by it, because YouTube started this way. We've all adjusted our lives to YouTube since 2005 to this. Yes, YouTube has been with us since 2005. We adjusted our lives to, if we're gonna watch a YouTube video, there's a good chance that YouTube is gonna show us a 5-second clip before this video starts. And then in the middle of this video, YouTube just might stop at the 5-minute mark to show me another 15-second ad, and so on and so forth. And we don't get annoyed. It's like a commercial break for us. It's okay. You know, as opposed to when we see some ads sometimes on other social media platforms, we tend to say, what is going on? But on YouTube, it works in your favor. So it's one of the platforms that you might want to consider because it's working in your favor. And we'll watch this quick video to help you understand it just a bit. Let's see if it works. It might not work. I don't think he wants to be our friend today, so we might not watch it. But if you get this presentation, let's see here. Yeah, if you request this presentation from us, it's just a quick, maybe 2-minute video, and it shows you how YouTube works in your favor, YouTube ads. And I'll just kind of give you a quick overview of what it would have shared with you. It shows you how you actually don't pay for you. Number one, you choose how much you want to spend on your ads per day. That can be, I want to spend $1 on YouTube ads, or I want to spend $10, or I want to spend whatever. You choose that amount. So that's the beauty. The second thing is you don't actually pay unless someone watches a certain amount of time on your video. So if your YouTube ad video pops up for me, and YouTube, a lot of times you'll notice if you are familiar with YouTube, if you click on a link to watch a video and an ad starts, on the side, kind of like in small print, there's a countdown going on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. And then once it gets to 1, you can choose to skip ad. If you choose to skip ad, then whoever created that ad, they don't have to pay YouTube for that ad. Now, if you continue to let that ad play, great, they might pay. They might pay whatever they anticipated, but you know, you're not wasting money on people who actually don't care about your brand. YouTube will only charge you as necessary. So I want you to think about that. And then finally, what I want us to consider is YouTube ads, YouTube ads are not imperative to the success of you having a YouTube business, okay? I mean, of you having your business on YouTube. I don't want you to think that I'm sharing with you that it's important for you to spend money on promoting on YouTube. It's absolutely not, because YouTube honestly is it's an organic growth. All of that sharing and engagement that we talked about earlier, that will hopefully allow you to gain your audience organically. Investing in YouTube ads, it's honestly like having icing on the cake. So imagine having your cake that's already delicious, and then you add icing, and it's just that much better. That's really all it is, okay? And then now finally for the day, as always, you know, we here at Hustle, we like to stress to you that you analyze your marketing tactics all the time. YouTube is no different. There's true magic in making sure you understand your audience and making sure that you are doing better. Even if you think you are at the best that you can be, there is always an opportunity to do better. So once you have an understanding of your channel, it's time to get a bird's eye view of how your channel is performing. YouTube, like all other social media platforms, have analytics. YouTube analytics will help you along the way, and it'll help you guide you in the direction of how you may want to optimize your videos for the future. It can allow you to get insight on people who are watching your videos, and that can allow you to hone into your target demographic. You can start asking yourself questions like, am I on point? Is my demographic who I thought my demographic was? Or am I engaging with a new demographic that I didn't even realize I need to be catering to? Or did I have it completely wrong and I need to change my demographic, my target market, because these are actually the type of people that are interested in my services and my products. So YouTube analytics can help you with that. It also gives you a better idea on why one of your video may be performing better than another. So let's just say you have 5 videos up and 3 of those videos have a great number of engagement while 2 just don't. YouTube analytics may be able to help you understand what the difference is and why one is working and why one isn't. So take advantage of that. It's a really powerful tool that's accessible to you, once again, at no cost. So use it. And as we close out today, I just want to remind you all that there's approximately 17 million subscribers on YouTube. You hear me? 17. That means even if only 1 million people saw your video, you still have 16 more million people that can learn about your brand and your business across this world. Take advantage of that. Don't let that deter you or make you be afraid. That just means you have an opportunity there. Also, it means that it makes sense why we see 5-year-olds making millions on YouTube. Yes, children are making millions on YouTube videos. And we'll talk about next week as we'll explore the money and how you can monetize on YouTube. But I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to be aware that YouTube is allowing you to monetize, and there are ways to do that, and we'll explore that a little bit next week. And that's all I have for you today. Once again, if you're interested in getting the presentation from today, you just send us an email. I'm sure Tony dropped our email address in the chat. For those listening in on Facebook Live, it's hustlewsinfo@gmail.com. That's hustlewsinfo@gmail.com. And we'll make sure that you get the presentation. And actually, if you received the presentation last week, it's the exact same link. It's just updated now with this week's information. So yeah, and we'll explore next week. We'll close out the session with how you monetize on YouTube. So we have about 3 more minutes. Are there any questions for me about today's presentation?
Yes, somebody wanted to know what's the name of the next class?
The next class as in next week or the next series?
next week, I think.
Next week, we're talking about the money. So we're talking specifically about how you use YouTube to monetize. I hope that answers the question. And if you meant next month, we're doing things a little different. I think I shared at the beginning of this class that, and I'll tell you more about it next week. We're not specifically having a series, a marketing outside the box series as you're used to. We have something more exciting for you and something more engaging for you. And we hope that it's more beneficial to you as we go through marketing outside the box. But we'll talk about it a little next week. It'll have some resources for you as well. Any more questions, comments, concerns?
Magali, I had one,
Yeah.
and I don't know how pertinent it is, but I didn't make my YouTube channel and get all that started. I guess my question is, how important is it to have like a catchy name? Like, I feel like some of the videos that have lots of viewers, the person who creates it has like a catchy, name to their channel. And since I, started my own agency, mine is just Benefits by Tracy. And I'm like, well, do I need to make mine like the health insurance guru or health insurance wizard? I don't know.
So I have two parts to that answer. And I want you to keep in mind, Tracy, this is just Magali's opinion. As I give you this, I would say the first thing is, personally, catchy names is an attention grabber for me. I think it's an attention grabber for a lot of people. It'll bring people to the table. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll stay there, but if it's catchy enough, it might raise an eyebrow too to make them want to know more. So there's never any harm in having a catchy name. That's the first part of my answer. The second part of my answer is a complete contradiction to that. And I'm a Gemini, so hey. And the second part of my answer is, the key thing you have to remember about YouTube is, in most social media platforms when it comes to your business, is it's your brand. So if your brand is a more professional, I don't want to use the word serious, but if it's a brand that you need people to be like, okay, she's talking to me about my benefits, you just kind of want to think about what name you give it. Is it going to attract the people you want to attract about insurance or benefits? And I would say let's just say if your target market or your target audience, where you're trying to get benefits to the younger group of millennials who are in the peak of their careers and really now thinking about what insurance benefits they need to have and all of that, a catchy name might work for them. It might be like, oh, somebody that has something specifically for me. But would you want that to be your YouTube channel name? In my opinion, no, but you might title a video that, if you want to specifically target that person. So in your industry, I would say stick to more professional name, but once again, it's based on who you're targeting, okay? It's really based on who you're targeting. But Benefits by Tracy, is that what you said it is? Mm-hmm. Benefits by Tracy. I'll give you unsolicited advice right now as well. That doesn't tell me a lot about your channel.
Okay.
When I hear benefits can be almost anything. Because I know that you operate in insurance and health benefits and things of that nature, I immediately connect it. But if I've never heard of you and don't know what your business is, benefits of what? Like, you know what I mean? So Benefits by Tracy is very vague. So you might want to think about that. Okay.
Can I also add, you have to also think about why your target market is on YouTube anyway, and it's usually for entertainment or to find information. So they're not necessarily going to be searching for you specifically. So I think what Maggie said earlier about making sure something catchy is in your title of your video and in the thumbnail of your video is way more important than the actual name of your channel.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's what I was wondering. I'm like, because if I link everything to my website and to my business, I'm like, well, when I want my business name to be cohesive across all the different platforms. Absolutely.
Yep. So I would keep it more professional and not make it, not as far as the channel name. I wouldn't change it for you.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right, in that case, thank you so much all for joining us this week. Tony, don't leave yet because I have you as the host and I need to switch that really quickly. But thank you all for joining us this week. Hopefully you can join us for the conclusion of this series next week, same time, same place, but please, please, please use the registration link because that's how we're sending out the video link for you to join us, just so that we don't have any Zoom bombing issues. But hopefully you can put some of this into practice on your YouTube channel. And next week, we'll talk to you about how you can make some money on YouTube. Have a great rest of the week, everyone.